Well, this is sad. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome back. This is Dashiell Rose here. I am back to talk about Cartoon Network. More importantly, I want to talk about the state that Cartoon Network is in and its possible future. So in a way, this is kind of an RIP video, where I discuss the fall of the platform. However, I don't really have time, right now, to really go through the whole history of Cartoon Network. Maybe I can tackle it in the future, I don't know. I mainly want to talk about the state it's in right now, and kind of more so where it could be going in the future. So, if you guys haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, so you guys can stay notified for future videos. You guys can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. There I'll be posting stuff. I even have a DaVinci art thing too. I have not been making a lot of art there yet because I'm still trying to figure the whole thing out. I just haven't had time to fiddle with it much. But I will be posting some art there in the future. But I have some right now. But so yeah, I'll be posting some stuff there too. Now I will let you guys know that will be, unlike Twitter and Instagram, that will be for more adults, like adult people or. So, unless your parents are okay with that, I wouldn't be suggesting, getting on there, because I'll be making art for people for the future, but that's not really happening right now, so, but I'm about ready to go ahead and just get ready with this video, because this is definitely kind of something I've been wanting to talk about for a long time. So, let's go ahead and just do that. So, if you guys don't know what Cartoon Network is, I guess you guys probably don't watch a lot of TV or something because, which I'm not trashing on people, maybe some people don't watch a lot of TV, but for people who don't know what it is, it's basically, it was like, Nickelodeon and Disney Channel. It was Warner Brothers', channel and all that. Cartoon Network is where they would, air like Dexter's Laboratory, Teen Titans, the OG Titans. I'll be talking about the others later, or the reboot later, and they've also aired like Ben 10 and all that. They aired a lot of popular cartoons. They even had Adventure Time. So they've been airing a lot of cartoons, that were very popular. Although I didn't really grow up watching Cartoon Network as much as I was more of a Nickelodeon person. Sorry, Nickelodeon. I watched a lot more Nickelodeon. I watched shows like My Life as a Teenage Robot. I watched The Fairly Odd Parents, and I watched a little bit of Jimmy Neutron, but really didn't get into that show as much as the others. But I did watch a lot more Nickelodeon. Heck, I even watched Noggin, which, by the way, Noggin, if you guys don't know, Noggin was, another version of, Nick Jr. Sadly, it finally shut down. They shut Noggin down, so you can't see Noggin anymore, but yeah, they shut it down. But yeah, basically, it was kind of like another version of, Nick Jr. and all that, so, but I did watch that. But now I did occasionally watch, Cartoon Network. I really didn't watch a lot of Disney Channel. Disney Channel had a lot of, sitcom shows and all that. I just wasn't into that. So I really didn't watch a lot of it. I've been starting to watch some shows from Disney Channel, the last few years. I watched Gravity Falls. I even did a review on that, so you guys can check out that if you guys want to. I even watched Kim Possible. I did that too, so yeah, I've done I've done, some of that stuff and all that, but yeah, I've done some of that. But basically, I did not really, like, I watched more Cartoon Network and, Nickelodeon than anything else. But sadly, Nickelodeon and all that, and, Disney Channel, sadly, Cartoon Network kind of, suffered. Now, out of the three, Cartoon Network probably suffered the most because, basically Disney Channel, while people do have some problems with them and all that, and then rebranding crap all the time, honestly, I'm kind of sick of it. I hate how they changed, like, they simplified the logo and all that, and, Cartoon Network, they did the same thing. They also kind of did that, but it still, looks like Cartoon Network, It still got the CNN, logo. So yeah, they still have that. But, like Disney Channel, they used to have, like, Mickey Mouse's head and all that on there, and now it's gone. It just says Disney Channel, which sucks. And all that, and then Playhouse Disney also is gone, too, so... Now, Playhouse Disney was something I did watch, but... Playhouse Disney, yeah, it completely freaking gutted it, and it became Disney Junior for some stupid reason. I guess because they wanted to compete with, maybe with Nickelodeon, because they had Nick Jr., so they had to have the same names, but I'm just like, why not just keep it, Playhouse Disney? That was more original, and even recently, they rebrand Disney Junior again. It's still Disney Junior, but now the logo is a lot shorter and all that. So it says D in Junior instead of, spelling the whole name out. It's so freaking stupid. I hate that they do this shit, and it's annoying. So yeah, I don't really watch a lot of that stuff anymore, I actually get the stuff on DVD. I get the older stuff on DVD because of that stuff, but I'm getting kind of off topic. I should be talking about Cartoon Network, because that's this video, but I just figured I kind of shared my problems, and, well, I guess I can say, too, before I do talk about Cartoon Network, is Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon was kind of falling, too. I think they've kind of made a comeback in a little bit, but unfortunately, it's more so they're rebooting a lot of their older shows. They're still making some original stuff, too, but they're more rebooting older stuff because they probably realize they can't just rely on, SpongeBob all the time, to keep them going. So, yeah. But Cartoon Network, unfortunately, has not learned that lesson because, honestly, you guys know how I was talking about how I told you guys I would talk about, the reboot of Teen Titans? Yeah. Teen Titans Go, basically has killed, it killed Cartoon Network. It freaking killed Cartoon Network. It's killed it. Basically, it's become the only thing that really airs on Cartoon Network anymore. With Nickelodeon, they at least had, other shows like Henry Danger, and they had SpongeBob, of course, because that's what they were focusing on for a long time, but they also had, the Fairly Odd Parents and all that. And then, they have Nicktoons and all that, too. So they have like, Nicktoons is kind of its own thing, too, but they have, like, their, other shows. Cartoon Network doesn't. Cartoon Network, it's pretty much Teen Titans Go all the damn time. And unlike SpongeBob, Teen Titans Go is hated by tons of people, including myself. I freaking hate that show. I hate that show so goddamn much. And I mean, some people can like it, that's fine. I mean, they can like it, as long as they're not criticizing other people. My thing is, though, is that show is they've not only, killed the Cartoon Network brand, but they also, have their horrible messages they give kids and all that who watch it, and, like saying, basically they have an episode where, one gender is better than the other, and then they have, they have another episode where they're, trying to get themselves off the naughty list, and then they teach the kids who are watching it that if you're being naughty and all that, do bad things, you still get what you want, which is not a great message. And I mean, you should argue that it's just a cartoon, it's not that big of a deal. But a lot of times, little kids will watch it, like toddlers and all that, and that's not a very good thing for toddlers to watch. And the thing is, though, is some of these people out there, not saying all of them, but like some of these people don't like letting their kids watch SpongeBob and all that, but they'll watch crap like this, and I'm like, this show is way worse than SpongeBob. SpongeBob still has good messages and all that in it, and although by season 6 and all that, it did start giving bad messages too. But they still try to give some good messages and all that, even though some of them were executed poorly. I mean, even like I said, like in season 6 and all that, yeah, they were giving bad messages too. But I felt like in season 7, they had a whole environmental episode. Although I feel like the way they made the episode was probably not the way to go, but they still were trying, teach people good messages. So they do that stuff, and all that. And I mean, some of the stuff they do is, it's not like stuff kids can imitate, very easily and all that. Like going in, like stealing a thing of underwear, from basically they have an episode called Midlife Frustrations, which, by the way, is a pretty good episode. But they basically have a panty episode at the end where they go and steal underwear. Now that's technically not okay, but that's also something that's very hard for little kids to do, and even in that episode, Mr. Krabs still got what he deserved. He got in trouble by his mom. So I mean, they do stuff like that. Teen Titans Go doesn't do shit like that. They don't do anything about that. They just basically teach kids horrible messages, and then they basically insult people and call them out. For not liking the show. They do this shit all the time. They'll break the fourth wall and all that, and say that we don't like the show because it's not serious enough. And I mean, maybe some people might be like that. I mean, I was actually looking forward to the show when it first came out. I was one of the people that was, I'm sure a lot of people were. Because it was basically looked like it was going to just tackle, more, make it more humorous than the original. But that's the thing, though. They don't do that. They kind of just, they basically just, they make all the characters unlikable and all that, and basically they just, it's just so stupid, and I mean, I could go on and on about that, but, I have a schedule to keep, obviously, with this video, but my point is there's a reason why people don't like the show, and if you like it, like I said, that's fine. But my thing is, though, is once it started airing, I noticed, like, they would start airing that show a lot more than the others. So they would start airing Teen Titans, Go, and all that, a lot more and all that, and they would still have some other shows, like they still had the Amazing World of Gumball and all that going, and all that. But sadly, like, once Adventure Time ended their show and all that, basically that would leave they started, their scheduling started focusing more on Teen Titans Go. And they still had, like, Amazing World of Gumball. But now it's pretty much just the only show that's that's still airing is, well, the only show that's still airing is Teen Titans Go, because all the other shows got canceled and all that, and basically Boomerang kind of took over that. If you guys don't know what Boomerang was, basically was the opposite of Cartoon Network in a way. Instead of airing, newer shows, it would air, like, classic shows, like You know, that maybe the parents, who had their kids watching would grow up with, like, Scooby-Doo and all that, and, Tom and Jerry and all that. Now they basically kind of turned it into that. Now it'll air, like, new shows, too, and all that, and Boomerang honestly sucks, too, now. I'm not gonna lie, Boomerang is freaking awful now, too. Now, I might do an RIP video on it, because I have a lot more things to say about it, but... Well, I mean, I have with Cartoon Network, too, but Boomerang also kind of... It wouldn't be as long of a, video and all that, so basically I could probably... It probably wouldn't take as much time, but I don't know. I mean, I may do one with Cartoon Network, too, I don't know. But, yeah, basically, though, yeah, Boomerang kind of, they changed the logo up and all that. So, unlike Playhouse Disney, they at least they didn't, well, unlike, Playhouse Disney, at least they didn't, like, completely remove the name. But what they did end up doing with Boomerang is they completely changed its look. So now it's not even a boomerang anymore. It actually, because it used to have a logo, like, its logo actually looked like a boomerang, and now it looks like a box. It literally is a freaking box. I guess to maybe make it blend in with, Cartoon Network, but I'm like, that beats the whole damn purpose of freaking Boomerang. And not only that, but they got rid of all the cool, animations and all that, and bumpers they had, which were awesome. I really liked them. And they basically they made it very simple and boring. And yeah, basically, they do have modern cartoons on there, and I've seen some. I don't remember which ones, but I have seen some on there. And basically, yeah, Cartoon Network just got left it in the dust. So yeah, and on top of all that, Cartoon Network's building is now gone. They were forced to relocate to another one. I don't know why they forced them to relocate. I'm like, if it's their own freaking studio, just let them be in their goddamn building. Don't force them out of it. Because, basically, the Cartoon Network building was... They basically, they shut it down and all that, and it was known for having lots of memories and all that, and people drew their own work on the walls and all that. It was so cool, and then they basically were forced to relocate and all that, so... Sadly, all that shit, got lost and all that, and, I mean, maybe they might have some video footage of it or somewhere where they did a final video, because a lot of people will do that, they'll video something before it closes and all that, but it's still frustrating, that they did all that, because, well, by they, I mean, Warner Brothers and all that, and, because our building, and now, it's now gone and all that, and they just don't have anything really going for them anymore. They have, like, some cartoon shows, I think still coming out under the Cartoon Network brand. They do have, Adventure Time. They have the Fiona and Cake and all that, which, actually, I think that show was, probably under Adult Swim. But basically, they basically, they're basically just a dead brand at this point. And honestly, I have a feeling in the future, I do think Cartoon Network is probably gonna die. I think they're gonna probably kill it off, and just because they have another channel replacing it already. It was supposed to be more like Boomerang, but it's also airing new shows and all that, and not old ones. So I don't know. I think Cartoon Network and Boomerang both could probably be gone, leaving just emptiness inside, and sadness for people who grew up with this shit. And both Boomerang and Cartoon Network honestly have not been around very long. Where Nickelodeon and, we had Nickelodeon and we had, like, Disney Channel, which both have been around for a long time. Actually, no, wait, I think Disney Channel came out did it come out in the 80s or 90s? I can't remember, but, like, Cartoon Network and Boomerang, well, Cartoon Network definitely came out in the 90s. I think Dexter's Laboratory, might have been its first show. I don't remember. And then they had, Boomerang that came out came out, I think, in the year 2000. Either that or it was 2001. It was like on April 1st, 2001. So, on like April Fool's Day, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, it's just kind of, one of those things, it's one of those things, that's kind of sad, because they weren't brands that were around very long, and I mean, Boomerang was rebranded. I mean, it's still Boomerang, but they rebranded the whole channel and ruined the whole thing of it, and it didn't even last 20 years. It didn't freaking last 20 years, and then they freaking rebranded it, and it sucks. I mean, you can still go on YouTube and find, commercial breaks of it and all that, but you shouldn't really have to. They should just keep the goddamn thing on there, but no, they don't do that. Just like Playhouse Disney and all that, they just don't care. They don't care about keeping stuff, like that. I mean, with Nickelodeon, I will give them credit. At least they brought back the whole Splat logo after it being gone for so long. None of these other channels are really doing anything. They feel very empty inside and don't have much of a purpose, anymore. Like, they're kind of just typical, other channels, so it just sucks. But yeah, I do think Boomerang and, well, I know definitely Cartoon Network, I think, is dead. I think it's dead. They may make Boomerang, maybe, they may make it like a Nicktoons or something, I don't know, but I know Cartoon Network, I think, is probably gonna die. I don't, especially with the, them having a new channel out that's making, new cartoons and all that. There's just not really much left for Cartoon Network. I mean, because they don't even, like I said, they don't air anything on there anymore. They have, like, Teen Titans Go, that's basically it. Because I go to Mamaw's house a few times, and I watch, like, channels and all that, but whenever it comes to Cartoon Network, there's, like, nothing on there anymore. There's nothing. So, yeah, it's just it's basically just a dead block, and with this case, you can't really blame the Warner Brothers and Discovery thing for it. I know a lot of people really hate David Lasley, people freaking despise him and all that, which, I mean, yeah, he's done a lot of horrible stuff with the company, by canceling shit and all that left and right, and some stuff looks like it could have been good. With, Cartoon Network, they've been on a downgrade for a long time now, for years. And this really got bad, like I said, like before they, the whole channel, when they ended Adventure Time and all that. It was like back, I think, in 2018 or 2019, basically Teen Titans Go took over the entire channel and, basically killed it. And at that time, there was still, like, a couple other shows on there, like there was KAO and all that, which that show got gutted too, but yeah, it's basically just kind of sad and all that, and I really don't think this channel is gonna make it. I mean, I would hope they would get better, but honestly, they're not. And I mean, and you can blame Teen Titans Go for that. And like I said, some people like it, I get, it's people's opinions, but you can't deny that they did not kill Cartoon Network because they're the only thing that's on there, basically they killed it. I mean, like SpongeBob, for example. I do like SpongeBob. I mean, I didn't care for like seasons through 6 through 8. I actually have not seen the newer episodes. I hear they're kind of weird though. But I will say that with I will say with Cartoon Network, I mean with Nickelodeon at least, well, I mean I will say that they also canceled shows and all that too, because they weren't popular like SpongeBob. But I will say at least it was definitely better. Where Teen Titans Go was basically bad from the start. It started off alright, but then they started making it really worse, and they started shitting on the, fans who grew up with the original show, and that's when a lot of people, including myself, lost interest in the show, and and all that. And I mean, like I said, even if the show was good, it still would have killed Cartoon Network pretty much, because with it being the only thing that's airing on the channel anymore, people would eventually get sick of watching the show and all that, and it's just not worth it. But I'm gonna go ahead and probably let things go from here. I guess you guys can tell me what you guys think about this. I think Cartoon Network is definitely dead. I think it's gonna get gutted. I think on the new channel, which I forgot the name of it, but I do know they have a new channel coming out. It's gonna probably take over it, and it's gonna be sad. But I'm gonna go ahead, let things go. See you all later. Have a nice, wonderful day. See you next time.